And good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of ABC24 Weather Impact Now. I'm ABC24 meteorologist CJ Cartledge here. And as you can see behind me, we are under a weather impact alert through the rest of today and through the next 3 days ahead of us here. And that is mainly due to the extreme heat and humidity that we could see throughout the foreseeable future here. We have seen an extension of the extreme heat warnings as well as the heat advisories to last all the way until Sunday, but next week looks pretty similar to what we have been dealing with through yesterday to today, as well as through the next couple of days ahead of us, with high temperatures reaching close to, at, or above that 100-degree mark, and many areas dealing with heat indexes close to 105, above 105, and some areas even above 110, like I believe we saw yesterday with one or two areas reaching above 110. But everywhere across the Mid-South for today remained near or below that 110-degree mark, at least for today on our Thursday. Here's a look at the heat alerts, and as you can see, if you can point out your county there, either in the purple or the orange color, you are under a heat alert until 8 p.m. on Sunday. The purple that you see there on the screen, the counties highlighted in the purple there, are denoted by the extreme heat warning, which means you'll see slightly higher feels like temperatures as compared to those shaded in the orange color that you see there on the screen, with heat indexes reaching up to 110. For those shown in the purple, we could see heat indexes rise up to 115 degrees out there. So this is definitely some heat and humidity that you do not want to play with, especially as temperatures are rising and the humidity is staying at a very similar level throughout the next 7 days ahead of us here. As we take a wide look across the country, at least this portion of the country, you can see that many areas in the Midwest, extending all the way down to the southeastern United States, are under some type of heat alert until 8 p.m. on Sunday at the very latest, I believe. We could see an extension or even expansion of these area of heat alerts here as we move through the next couple of days ahead of us, as we are expecting this high pressure system that's currently centered in the Gulf right now to continue to bring in more moisture from the Gulf and continue to make it even more unbearable to be outside here across the Mid-South and across many areas around the country. This is our high temperature for today, or if I point this way, this is our high temperature for today, 99 degrees. I believe we saw 97 yesterday, 96 the day before that here on our Tuesdays and Wednesday, respectively. So we are seeing rising temperatures, and we're going to continue to see rising temperatures as we move through the next couple of days as well. More than likely going to see our second and potentially third 100-degree day of this year so far. We've only seen one here around Memphis, but we could definitely see more around the Mid-South as we move through the next couple of days. Here's a look at temperatures right now across the Mid-South. Around 95 for Holly Springs and Oxford, Corinth, and Bolivar. For our easternmost counties within the Mid-South here, 97 for Covington. It is 96 degrees currently near Memphis, near the airport there. 97 for areas near Clarksdale, and same thing for Truman up there in northeastern Arkansas. We are seeing a temperature of 96 degrees by Forest City over there in eastern Arkansas. Looking at our dew points right now, we're mainly in the upper 60s and lower 70s. The lower the dew point, the lower that feels like temperature, and the closer the feels like temperature is to the actual temperature. But the higher the dew point, the farther away that heat index will be from the actual temperature, which is why you see many triple digits or higher across the region as of right now. 102 is what it feels like near Memphis. 104 is what it feels like by Tunica. 106 looks to be the most unbearable feeling place by Forest City there. 105 for Truman, 105 also for Covington. It feels like 103 by Clarksdale. So still dealing with unbearable heat and humidity at the very moment, but we should cool off, especially as we head into the overnight hours for tonight, at least until we see more daylight heading into tomorrow. Radar shows absolutely nothing across the Mid-South at the very moment. Let's look at surrounding areas here. Not much really going on in surrounding areas either, but just as mentioned in the headline before, portions of the Ohio Valley is still seeing some rainfall after they've seen a lot of rainfall, catastrophic flooding actually as they move through the past couple of days here. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later on in the show, though. We're going to continue on with our local forecast here until then. Let's look at our bus stop forecast heading into tomorrow. We're expecting very similar temperatures, if not slightly higher by the time we hit the afternoon hours here. We should deal with temperatures by the time you're heading out to the bus stop, or as the kids heading out to the bus stop here, mid and upper 70s, some in the lower 80s out there with mostly sunny skies. We may see a couple clouds pass by, giving us very brief relief from the humidity out there. But lunch or recess time, we should deal with temperatures well in the 90s across the region, if not the upper 80s. But we should all be in the 90s, mid and upper 90s by the time we're heading back home. And that is when you definitely need to be hydrated. It's definitely important to tell your kids there to stay hydrated even as you're sitting in the classroom, because you're going to be outside at some point if you're going out to lunch or recess, and even if you're in high school changing buildings to go to different classes and things of that nature. Then definitely make sure to keep them hydrated, or tell them to stay hydrated as they move about the next few days ahead of us. But as we can see, looking at our highs for tomorrow, around 99 degrees looks to be the high near Memphis, 101 potentially for Tunica, and 100 for Clarksdale, Forest City, and Mark Tree. That's why the westernmost counties within the Mid-South are going to be under an extreme heat warning through the daytime hours tomorrow and through the next couple of days as well, as compared to the eastern half of the region, where they may see lower temperatures and hence lower humidity. But we should stay around the same range, which is pretty uncomfortable for this time of year. And I'll show you all those details in just a few minutes. Around 98 looks to be the high for Corinth, 97 by Bolivar, and 98 also for Oxford. Looking at the metro area in terms of highs for tomorrow, 100 by Earl, as well as near Forest City and Mariana. The same for Helena, West Helena, about around 100 degrees. Tunica 101, Holly Springs 97, Ripley around 97 as well. And looking into southwestern Tennessee, Millington 100 degrees on the dot. If not, Memphis seeing 100 degrees on the dot as well. Somerville 98 degrees. And our heat index tomorrow is expected to remain high as well, between, I would say, 102 to potentially above 110 in some localized areas here. Here's a look at our heat indexes moving into tomorrow afternoon. Some areas may not even get into the triple digits, but I could definitely see a lot, if not all of the areas, get into the triple digits out there. This seems to be on the lower end of the scale in terms of the forecast for those numbers there. We should definitely see very high, feels like temperatures ranging between the around, like I said before, 102 to potentially above 110. But moving through the next 3 days, 99 looks to be the high for tomorrow, if not reaching the triple digits, and we should deal with the triple digits once more as we move into this upcoming weekend here, which is why weather impact alerts are lasting through the rest of the 3-day forecast that you see there on the screen, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. Our muggy meter shows that we will deal with a slight drop in humidity, just as talked about before, but we shouldn't see it leave that uncomfortable range, staying in the range of, 71 to 75 degrees out there throughout the next 6 days ahead of us. Here's a look at our full 7-day forecast as we wrap up this local forecast with this part of the Weather Impact Now episode or show. Here's a look at what we can expect here. Weather Impact Alert is lasting through the next 3 days ahead of us, where we could see temperatures rise to the mid and upper 90s and lower triple digits across the region. We will be dealing with the same range of temperatures in the morning and in the afternoon as we move into next week as well. So brutal heat and humidity is on the way to us, and we should be dealing with that even heading into next week and potentially into next weekend. There are some signs of slight cool downs as we move into the later part of the next week, excuse me, but it won't be as far away as what we may hope for, especially during this time of year where high heat and humidity is very common for the month of August. Now, coming up after the break, meteorologist Daniel McDonald has your regional forecast, and he will also show you how hot it will be just outside of the Mid-South.